Hello, I'm Terry Weaver, past governor of District 7750 and incoming Rotary coordinator for Zone 33. And I'm here to talk with you about something that many of you have heard me say. If you know me from Rotary or if you know me from business, you've heard me say, if you don't have a growth strategy, you're shrinking. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. Here's what I hear from Rotary clubs. I've heard this from all of the clubs in my district, almost 50, and I've heard it from clubs in other districts as well as I've traveled around the zone. Our club is just the right size. Now, those clubs range in size from 14 to 220 members, yet they're all just the right size, meaning we're perfectly happy with the status quo. We're just fine. Thank you very much. I've also heard clubs say our goal is to stabilize our membership. I saw a quote, I heard a quote once about stable, and here's what I think of that. Stable is the step backwards between successful and failing. This is from Pete Campbell, one of the guys in the TV series Mad Men. Stable is that step backwards between successful and failing. I absolutely believe that to be true. Here's what I see from Rotary clubs. I see Rotary clubs shooting for break even or just, net gain of 1. Very low expectations. We just don't expect much of ourselves, and we're not willing to put much energy into maintaining the membership in our club. So let's just try to keep it level. They forget about attrition. Attrition is real, and it happens all the way till midnight on June 30th. So what happens is you're rocking along in April, 1st of May, your 40-member club is at 40 members. You've lost 2 or 3, you've attracted 2 or 3, but your whole idea was just to maintain that 40. Well, you send out first quarter invoices in June, and you have a couple of members say, hey, I quit, but I forgot to tell you. That means you end up with a net loss of 2 or 3 members. And surprisingly, that 2-member net loss is characteristic of Rotary clubs that are shrinking, in my observation. If you look at a shrinking club, by and large, you'll see a leak rate of about 2 or 3 members a year. And it's because of exactly this strategy, this break-even strategy. And then the club fails. The club fails to hit break even. They've stopped attracting members when they thought they were going to get to break even. And so they rarely exceed their current membership. And then it's lather, rinse, repeat the next year. Same objective, break even, same strategies, same result, net loss of 2 or 3 members. And of course, that's how you get down from 50 members to 40 members in 5 years. And if you stay on that track, it's 40 to 30 in the next 5 and 30 to 20 in the next 5. And if your club does not have a growth strategy, I think you can look at the history and convince yourself I'm pretty much right. This idea of stable, that's a really fragile balance. In my business experience, I found it's very difficult to fly an organization level in terms of, say, sales revenue. I've seen it very difficult to fly a Rotary club level in terms of membership. And it is impossible to fly a hot air balloon level. That's why I love this analogy so much. I hope you'll use it. You try to fly a hot air balloon level, you find out suddenly that you don't have any control surfaces to make that happen. The only one you have is a chain attached to a propane valve that blows flaming propane up into the canopy. And so if the balloon is descending, you fire the burner, that descent is arrested, and the balloon starts to rise as the air in the bag warms up. And then something interesting happens. That energy out of the bag is lost, and the balloon starts to decline again, descend. Now, if the pilot does not pay attention to the altimeter, or if you don't pay attention to membership in your Rotary club, something bad happens. In the balloon business, it's called premature contact with terrain. Not a good day. And the exact same thing happens to Rotary clubs, premature contact with terrain. In my district, that happens to a Rotary club about every other year. And they all go down that same 2-member a year glide path until lights out. Here's what chronic membership decline looks like. This is a real club in my district. And this is a club that's a little better at losing members than most. They've practiced this. They've managed their way down from 65 to 40 members at a rate of 4 members a year for a number of years. But then something different happened. I think a new sheriff came to town, and somebody looked at this and said, wow, we're at 40 members. If we stay in this 4-member-a-year decline, we'll be gone in 10 years, just totally gone. We got to do something different. So they adopted a membership growth strategy, consistent, moderate, not flashy membership growth, 1 or 2 a year, and got themselves built back up to a 46-member club. But then they forgot. They forgot that if you don't have a growth strategy, you're shrinking. Now, not quite as precipitously at a rate of only 3 members a year, a little bit faster than the average of 2 that I've observed across hundreds of clubs. But it doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar in trend analysis to see where this is going. Where this is going in only 4 years from now, 2022, is 16 members by July 2026. Darren Hardy, motivational speaker and life coach, says you have to grow into your goals. If you want something different as a result, you have to become something different.
To achieve what you have not, you must become what you are not. You have to grow into your goals. Look, if you're struggling to achieve your goals, it's because your goals are above your head. I'm sorry to say, but your goals are too big for you. You keep bludgeoning your head against the wall, but it's not going to help. The only way to achieve goals bigger than you've been able to achieve before is to become more than you've ever been before.
Did you catch that? The only way to achieve goals bigger than you've been able to achieve before is to become more than you've ever been before. That's true of an individual, that's true of a business, that's true of a Rotary Club. You have to become more attractive. You have to become more interesting. You have to become more valuable in your community, and you have to learn how to attract and retain members. You have to become something more than you've been before in order to grow a Rotary Club. And of course, you have resources that will help you with that. You have district resources and you have zone resources who know how to grow a Rotary Club. If you want to grow yours, there's help out there available. So I'll come back to that same premise. If you don't have a growth strategy, you're shrinking. Why is that? If your objective is break even, you're not going to achieve that every year. Some year you're going to fail. And if that's all you're counting on is breaking even, you'll rarely overshoot that number. You'll rarely overshoot break even by 1 or 2, and you'll often fail by 1 or 2. As a result, your Rotary Club will be shrinking if you don't have a growth strategy. I appreciate your time today, and all the best in creating a consistent, moderate growth strategy for your club.